The crisp autumn air carried a scent of falling leaves and distant rain as Eleanor Whitmore walked into the dimly lit cafe at the edge of town. Her heart pounded against her ribs, her mind a chaotic mess of emotions she couldn't quite unravel. She had always been a devoted wife, a loving mother, the woman who never strayed. But tonight, something was different. Across the cafe, William Davenport sat at a secluded booth, his gaze lifting as soon as she entered. His piercing blue eyes locked onto hers, and in that moment, the world around them faded. Their connection had been undeniable from the start, an invisible thread pulling them toward each other despite the moral boundaries they had sworn to uphold. Eleanor and William's lives had intertwined in the most unexpected way. Their children attended the same school, and casual greetings at PTA meetings gradually turned into stolen glances, lingering conversations, and an unspoken yearning neither of them dared to acknowledge. Eleanor had been married to Charles for 15 years. Charles was a good man, a provider, a father, but their marriage had become a routine, a script played over and over with no passion left in the pages. William, too, was married. His wife, Margaret, was kind but distant, consumed by her high-powered career that left him feeling like an afterthought in his own home. What had started as innocent companionship had grown into something dangerous, a friendship laced with temptation. The cafe became their sanctuary, a hidden world where they could exist outside the confines of their marriages. Conversations turned deeper, touches became fleeting but electric, and the air between them sizzled with the things left unsaid. One evening, after too many glasses of wine, Eleanor found herself trapped in his gaze. William reached for her hand, his fingers brushing hers so gently that it sent shivers down her spine. "Tell me this isn't real," he whispered. She didn't pull away. She should have. But she didn't. Guilt clawed at her, yet desire burned brighter. It was raining the night Eleanor finally gave in. She had planned to walk away, to end whatever this was before it spiraled out of control. But as she stepped out of the cafe, William had followed. "Eleanor, please." His voice cracked, and for the first time, she saw the depth of his own struggle. Lightning flashed across the sky as he pulled her into his arms. The kiss was desperate, aching, filled with every suppressed emotion they had bottled up for months. And for a moment, nothing else mattered. But reality was unforgiving. Secrets have a way of revealing themselves at the worst possible time. Margaret had noticed the distance in William. Charles had sensed Eleanor's distraction. Suspicion grew like weeds, tangled and suffocating. One evening, Eleanor returned home to find Charles waiting in the living room, his face pale. A single photograph lay on the coffee table, a picture of her and William, hands intertwined. The world came crashing down around her. Charles's voice was eerily calm. "How long?" Tears burned in her eyes. "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is," he demanded, his voice filled with betrayal. Meanwhile, Margaret confronted William in their home, her voice trembling. "Do you love her?" The weight of the question crushed him. He had convinced himself that it was just an escape, a fleeting infatuation. But deep down, he knew the truth. Eleanor and William met one last time at the cafe. The air was thick with regret. "We have to stop," she whispered. William exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. "I know." A silence stretched between them before he reached across the table, taking her hand one final time. "In another life, maybe." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "But not in this one." They parted that night, knowing they could never undo the damage they had caused. Love wasn't always meant to be, and some affairs were never meant to happen. Eleanor returned home to mend what was left of her marriage, to face the consequences of her choices. William did the same, carrying the weight of what could have been. In the end, they were two souls who had collided at the wrong time, in the wrong circumstances, bound forever by a love that was never meant to be.